So this is a bonus Top of the Pops reaction,
also
in a way.
Also on BBC One, is Sharon gonna tell the big question in EastEnders?
Well, we're not going to find out if Sharon's going to tell, but as I was saying,
it's still number one.
It's a bonus Top of the Pops reaction because I'd already done one for November and it's still in the can, so I'm kind of going out of time here. But there's going to be two in November, one later on this month. And this one, which was originally broadcast, I think, 20 years ago today, the 9th of December 2001. It's hosted by Jamie Theakston, and the first act on this, what looks to be widescreen edition of Top of the Pops, is The Cause and Would You Be Happier? Was BBC One broadcasting everything in widescreen as early as 2001? It doesn't matter. Right, okay, nice start this. Would You Be Happier by The Cause. I'm a Cause fan. I've liked The Cause since the, I would say, mid to late 90s. And I believe Would You Be Happier, which is a good single, I would rank it quite high in their, list of best singles. I think this was the lead single from a best of compilation. There'll be some information down on the ticker bar that's bottom left. Well, it's more than the bottom left, but you know what I mean. So yeah, I like this. This is a great. I say great. I mean, it's not. I don't think it's their absolutely strongest single, but it's decent. So it's a very good start as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, I think this was from the best of The Cause, which would have been their first. I've got all their albums. I'm trying to think how many greatest hits compilations have released. I think it's just two. I think they did one called Dreams some years later. I suppose 2001, given they were probably only starting to chart in around 95, 96. It's a little bit soon for greatest hits, but well, it's November, so we're coming up to Christmas. A lot of acts do this, don't they? A lot of record companies, record labels, really. If they think they can make a few quid in the run-up to Christmas market, they'll get their bigger acts, and maybe even not so bigger acts, to put a greatest hits or a best-of compilation out. It's a tried and true method for Christmas sales, some extra money to be made at the end of the year. But yeah, great start this for me. 2001. I don't think it was a massively strong year for music. I certainly was paying very little attention to music in this year. I believe I was at university at this point as well, in late 2001. That is totally irrelevant.
That is, of course, a fantastic choice. Now, come down here. Listen up, folks at home. I want you to move back the furniture, roll up the carpet, and cover your granny. Are you ready to party hard?
Oh, yes!
This is Andrew.
Oh, brilliant. Well, now, so I wasn't holding out a lot of hope for there being a lot that I like on this edition of Top of the Pops, just judging by the year that I've taken it from. But I really like Andrew WK. He's one of those acts. I've not got any of his music physically. I've got a few things like downloaded and digitally. But someone I keep threatening to start a physical, likely record collection in, because I do like a lot of his singles and other tracks I've heard over the years. And Party Hard here. What number was this at? 19. This was probably not his debut single, but certainly his breakthrough hit, at least here in the UK and maybe worldwide as well. He's certainly singing live, and I think his band may be performing live, so I don't think this sounds quite as good as what the normal studio recording would sound, but I'm still happy to see it. Yeah, Andrew WK, obsessed with parties. He's had a new album come out fairly recently, I think. I can actually say that as I'm not recording this too far in advance of it going up on YouTube, so maybe September, a couple of months ago, he had a new album come out. Like I say, I'd like to get some of his stuff because I'm quite fond of him. So maybe that's a record collection that I can focus on in 2022. We'll see. But I'm very happy to see this Love Party Hard. He's a very good pianist as well. Yeah, I said pianist before anyone claims that they're slightly hard of hearing. Because a lot of his stuff has got piano in it, and you see him in promo videos playing the piano sometimes as well. I think this track, Party Hard, was from the I Get Wet album, the title track of that, which I don't think came out as a single. I could be wrong. I Get Wet, brilliant, I love that, possibly my favourite Andrew WK track of all time. I've not heard loads and loads of his stuff, it's been mainly the singles and the theme from Jackass #2, he did that We Want Fun, and maybe one or two others, so you know, I've got a lot to discover when it comes to Andrew WK, but yeah. Even better than the Cause, and I'm admittedly a Cause fan, but that was great. That.
Andrew WK. What WK stands for? Who knows? Now, after a few years away, I'm delighted to say that this next lady is back, and she's back with a brilliant new single. This is Natalie Imbruglia.
All right, Natalie Imbruglia is at number 11. That Day. Singing live again. Did the Cause sing live? I'm not sure, but I'm pretty certain Natalie Imbruglia here is doing a live vocal. I'm waiting for it to get going a little bit, but this doesn't sound all that familiar to me. Well. I'm not really feeling this. It's just the way the vocals are and the lyrics. It sounds a bit garbled to me. I don't know if any of you would agree with that. Not a reflection on her singing. Her voice sounds fine. It sounds like there's a lot of words in each line of the song, if you know what I mean. The example of that I always remember is, and I remember Brass Eye, the Chris Morris Channel 4 show, they kind of took the piss out of it a little bit, but an example I remember of a song having a line with too many syllables in it, too many words, was Pulp's Common People, and the line was, what was the line? I said in that case I'll have a rum and Coca-Cola, and it just, when I say it now it doesn't sound that unusual, but just in the context of the song, I mean, most of you will know Common People, so, but I was listening out for that line and I think, oh, Jarvis Cocker, surely there must have been a better way to convey what you're trying to convey than with, in that case I'll have a rum and Coca-Cola. But this song, That Day, seems to be full of it's like just poor Miss Imbruglia there, just, blah, 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 blah. A bit like what I am sat here. Apologies, you're probably trying to enjoy this, but I'm not rating this. It's not awful. I mean, musically it's pleasant enough, but just a bit underwhelming, really. So as I say, this is a bonus episode really, so there will be 2 in November. Bit of a spur of the moment decision really. When I was just looking through Top of the Pops episodes, full ones in the archive, this one jumped out at me, and then I realised there'd be quite a gap between last month's, October's, which was like October the 11th, 1973 or something, and then the next one in November, which you can probably guess now is quite late on in November. So I think this just sort of bridges the gap. I'm not saying that, in fact I know I won't be doing this every month, to, you know, like going back to 2 a month, as I was doing for quite some time since last year.
The album is White Lily's Island. She is Natalie Imbruglia. Now, this
I didn't think that was very good.
Over a year ago, but it's been re-released, and I, for one, am thrilled. Isn't it amazing what a mobile app can do? This is the quite brilliant Dandy Warhols.
Alright, Dandy Warhols are at number 5 with Bohemian Like You. I do remember this. Jamie Theakston there made reference to a mobile phone ad, and yes, I do vaguely recall this being quite ubiquitous during commercial breaks on TV around the time. Sounds like this was a reissue as well. It probably was originally released months or even like the previous year and didn't do awfully well. But since it got used for, I can't think what the mobile phone campaign will be. It might even be a mobile phone network or brand that doesn't exist anymore, as it was 20 years ago. But that's all the days of Cellnet. Certainly the days of Orange, because I was an Orange network customer for quite some years. At least into the mid-noughties, I think, maybe even beyond. And with 3 now, by the way. Keep going off on these irrelevant tangents tonight, don't I? So, I've not heard this in years. I don't think I liked this particularly 20 years ago because, as for reasons I've already mentioned, it was just a bit too ubiquitous, especially once it was re-released and then, you know, you were hearing it on radio and on all the music channels on satellite and digital TV all the time. You know how these things are. Sometimes you hear a song once too often, don't you? But yeah, to say I've not heard this in quite some years. It's not massively my scene. Dandy Warhols, I can't tell you anything about the band. I think they're American, I think. Kind of like one of your sort of alternative indie bands from the States. Not sure they've done much in recent years. Any interesting information about them you'll be seeing going across the screen. But yeah. Nothing bad to say about this. Maybe if you played this even sort of 15 years ago to me, I would have been like, oh no, it's that song from the ads again. I'm still sick of it. But now, well, there's enough times passed now where I can sit here and enjoy this. Not a patch on Andrew WK, and not even as good as The Cause, but certainly an improvement on Natalie Imbruglia were the Dandy Warhols, Bohemian Like You.
From Portland, Oregon, that is
Portland, Oregon, there we are.
We've got some real class for you now. She's huge in America and about to be over here. Great music, brilliantly performed, and she's lush. She is Alicia Keys.
Oh, Alicia Keys, okay. At number 3 with Fallin. So, there again, yeah. I think this, if it wasn't Alicia Keys' debut single, it was most likely in the UK her breakthrough single, you know, where she made a name. She's certainly singing live. I remember this. I thought this was okay at the time. I mean, she's got a great voice. She's obviously good on the ivories as well. And she always seems one of those artists that she's had a career and, you know, she's still going now. Perhaps not quite as high profile as maybe 15, 20 years ago. But she's one of those artists that, although, you know, she's in the R&B genre, and American-based. You know, she never had to resort to sort of like weird gimmicks as what you'd get. You know, I'm trying to think of like a sort of comparison, really. You know, like kind of like someone like Nicki Minaj with like the really sort of garish outfits and you know, probably a ton of plastic surgery, and even I suppose someone like Beyonce, who maybe is considered a bit more of a serious artist than Nicki Minaj. I'm kind of pigeonholing these ladies, but you know, I can do that, really. You know, put your complaints in the comment section. Whereas Alicia Keys, she always felt more of a serious artist. Maybe that was a little bit to her detriment, and I never paid a lot of attention to her at the time. But I think now, as I'm older, I do appreciate her musicianship and her voice. Certainly enjoyed the Bond theme she did with Jack White. I think I'm trying to think if that episode of Top of the Pops, The Reaction, has even come out yet. Yes, it has. Yeah, it was earlier this year. I miscredited. I said her and Jack White. I think I lumped her with Chris Cornell doing Quantum of Solace or something. Whereas, no, it wasn't that. I now think I'm getting wrong my own anecdote, so I'm just going to shut up about it. Lovely hat, what she's wearing. Attractive lady, talented. Not really my cup of tea, this, but it's decent enough, and it's a good live performance. You know, as far as live performances go, I'd say this was probably the strongest of the evening so far. But I think you know what my favourite's going to be tonight. There's going to have to be something really extra special to beat Andrew WK.
That is, of course, the wonderful Alicia Keys. And talking of bright young stars, I can tell you that Elton John is with us.
Yes, that bright young star Elton John, who must have been like getting on for 60, 20 years ago.
We are packed full. I don't think we're going to be able to squeeze you in. Is that okay?
I can do something else instead. I'm here to do something else anyway.
You're going to do Jonathan Ross, of course.
Yeah.
Talking about, I guess, the new album.
Yep.
We just saw Alicia Keys. She's pretty special, isn't she?
She's fantastic, yeah. She's. I'm going to be doing something with her on the 12th of December in Los Angeles. So it's great to see another piano player doing so well, and great voice. Album's done amazingly.
You duetted, of course, recently with Eminem. Anyone else that you'd like to work with at the moment?
I'm very keen on Ryan Adams. I love his album Gold, which is fantastic. There's loads of new people around they're very exciting. There's a girl called Blue Control who's great. There's so many.
Get on with it.
What about the Elton John Slipknot collaboration? Is that something?
Well, I've got so many old costumes. I think some of them are more frightening than Slipknots, to be honest with you.
You need a mask, though.
You never know. You never know.
What about Limp Bizkit?
Limp Bizkit? No, not so keen on Limp Bizkit.
You're not so keen on Limp Bizkit?
I don't like anything limp in my life.
Right, okay, of course you do. And on that bombshell, this is Limp Bizkit. Thanks, Elton.
I guess it would be nice
Right.
if I could touch you by
What a wonderful segue into Limp Bizkit here, number 18, with what is evidently a cover of George Michael's Faith. I actually forgot they covered this.
I know all the games you play, 'cause I played them too.
Yeah, I mean, Limp Bizkit were big around this point. I mean, 2001 may have been their peak year, really. I mean, they did the theme for the amazing WrestleMania 17, or X7 as people keep insisting on calling it, but I just call it WrestleMania 17 because that's what it was, the 17th WrestleMania. But that was in, that would have been very early April 2001. And their song was called My Way. Not a cover version of the Frank Sinatra hit, but that was an original Limp Bizkit proposition or composition. But yeah, I'd actually forgotten they'd covered this, and it was released as a single. I'm trying to remember kind of like whether I enjoyed the studio version of this, and I don't think I did really, and I'm not digging this live performance very much. I've seen new metal getting really big. Limp Bizkit, as I say, It had the album Chocolate Starfish and the hot dog flavoured water, I think it was. I'm not sure if this was from that or from the subsequent album, whatever that was. And then you had other acts like Papa Roach and Limp Bizkit coming to prominence around this point. So, new metal, as they called it. I think I was still calling it rap rock around this point. But new metal, for all intents and purposes, was, I think that was the genre of 2001, really. I can't say I rated that, really.
Bizkit, one of the acts you can vote for at the top of the Pops Awards in Manchester at the end of the month. To find out how to vote, go to CFAX page 549. And I can announce
don't go to CFAX page 549 because lines are closed now. It's 20 years later. Right, we've got a promo video here. It's Jennifer Lopez. Jamie Theakston probably said what the track was, but I'll figure it out in a minute. Oh no, it's only. Oh, these are like breakers. Then he's just played. Well, he only played a brief clip of that. So this is. I can't even. Is that H2O? Was that? Rapture. I remember this. Another kind of trance hangover here. It's funny, I really like dance music. I mean, I know that's kind of a bit too all-encompassing. And there's so many different subgenres of dance music, and dance itself, is a subgenre of electronic anyway. But generally, I'm a big dance music fan and supporter. I like to buy, dance acts like Gigi D'Agostino. And I've got numerous like 12-inch and a couple of 7-inch singles that for me, what was a great period for Euro dance, like the early to mid 1990s. But I don't know. This to me it's a bit too generic. Yeah, I really think. I think there's been nothing that I've really disliked, or even slightly disliked, with the arguable exception of Natalie Imbruglia, and that was more. I just didn't think the lyrics fitted the song very well, but not that I know anything about it. This is certainly a stronger episode edition of Top of the Pops than I was thinking it would be. As I always say, I haven't watched this. I probably didn't watch it 20 years ago neither. Certainly haven't watched it when I downloaded it. Just a quick scrub through to check that the picture quality and sound quality were pretty decent, and they seem to be. So yeah, this has been a better edition than I expected, mainly thanks to the calls and Andrew WK. Natalie Imbruglia was what it was. Limp Bizkit, I suppose it was quite fun to see them on Top of the Pops. But I didn't rate the cover. And that chat with Elton John could have done with being cut down by about half, but I think him and Theakston were having too much fun. But is that H2O? Is it number 2? Anyway, Rapture.
Now here's this week's official Top of the Pops.
We've got a chart.
Number 20, Usher, You Got It Bad. 19, a new entry, Andrew WK and Party Hard. 18's a new hit for Limp Bizkit, Boiler. 17, Alien Ant Farm and Smooth Criminal.
Remember that
At
cover?
16 this week, Michael Jackson, You Rock My World. 15, Gabrielle, Don't Need the Sun to Shine. 14's a new entry for The
Nice,
Claws,
enjoyed
Would You
it.
Be Happier. 13, Mary J. Blige and Family Affair. And at 12, it's Britney Spears, I'm a Slave for You. 11 this week, a new entry, Natalie Imbruglia and That Day. At number 10, it's Mystique and One Night Stand. At number 9, 5 and Closer to Me. Number 8 is City High and What Would You Do? Number 7 is Kylie Minogue,
that
Can't
massive
Get You
hit.
Out of My Head.
So
And
the
at
comeback
6,
to
it's
Kylie,
DJ
really.
Otzi,
Oh,
Hey
God.
Baby. 5 is a new entry, Dandy Warhols, Bohemian Like You. 4,
I'm Real,
for Jennifer
yeah.
Lopez, I'm
Not
Real.
much of that was played,
The
was it?
second highest new entry, debuting at 3, Alicia Keys and Fallin. And this week's highest new entry lands at
So we've
number
got
2.
a non-mover at number 1. Who is it?
That was a chart. That was this week's Top of the Pops. I'm Jamie Theakston. Now, I've got hold of an exclusive videotape of Robbie Williams and Nicole Kidman getting it on.
Oh.
And it's pretty steamy, I can tell you. But I'm not going to show it to you this week. Oh, no. Because you can see it for the very first time on this show next week. Time for the number 1 now. And yes, again, it is Afroman.
Oh, no.
Yeah, thanks, Jamie. And you know why. What's up, you?
Now then.
And you don't stop. Just throw your hands in the air.
Yeah, this is bringing back memories and not in a good way. Everyone thought this was the best thing since sliced bread 20 years ago, and I probably got called a humorless twat for disagreeing, but I hate this. I hated it then, don't like it now. I think this is rubbish. It's supposed to be like a comedy hip-hop thing. Obviously, you know, it's extolling the virtues of marijuana, which I'm not going to get into all that now, but I've got no problem with people doing that. But I just think this song is inexcusable dross. I don't find it funny. I don't find it a great call to arms for the pro-weed brigade. I just find it annoying. I don't think he's a particularly good rapper, Afroman. I mean, this was a one-hit wonder for him, and thank fuck it was, really, because, you know, this was probably the best of a very bad bunch for him. Yeah. No, really, for me, I mean, you may disagree, and please, I'm happy to see differing opinions to mine in the comments, so please leave them, but for me, this is the worst thing on the show. I actually forgot this got to number 1. I know it did well. I mean, people say, "Oh, listen to the lyrics; they're funny." You know, it's just like it's. I mean, if anything's like Scream's 2001, you know, it's this, and that's not necessarily a good thing. It's, you know, we can talk about weed and make funny raps and do this and that and release it as a single now. You know, that's kind of how the music industry was. You know, it gave talentless cretins like Afroman a platform. No, I'm sorry, I'm on my soapbox a bit here, but I just don't like it. The melody's rubbish. I mean, there barely is a melody. It sounds so cheap. You listen to it. I mean, like you could get a beat like that going on a children's Bon Tempi keyboard. And then we've got Afroman and his 2 witless friends there. Yeah. Right. What's going on next week? Not that we'll be seeing it. It's on BBC 2 next week. Westlife, D12. And Robbie Williams. So that's what you would have been seeing 20 years ago on the following edition. Don't know if this spent longer than 2 weeks at number 1. This might have been its 3rd week or something, or even 4th. I honestly don't know and I don't care. But the credits are on now, so that is my time to not say because I got higher, but to say because I'm bi. Oh, fuck it. Oh, because I'm bi. Oh, God. Never mind. I'm going to go now. Join me later on this month for the next Top of the Pops reaction. Cheers, everyone. See ya!
If you're lighting the fireworks, even a small one could get you into trouble.
Don't mix alcohol and fireworks.